Y'all know what it is. Thumbs up. Thumbs up on arrival. Do this video a favor and let's do a thumbs up on arrival. Thumbs up on arrival. Let's do it. See, now we gonna get this video top rated because the girls gotta know what this is. Matter of fact, let me tell you what it's not. Welcome to the Insecure the season 4 Insecure dissection. Okay, what this is not is a review. This is not a review. A review and a recap is your favorite creators going down what had happened. That's cool. We already seen it. We seen it, right? That's cool. Do you. That's not what you're going to get here. And I want to be very clear. Okay, there's a lot of new people to the channel, a lot of new subscribers. I'm so happy that you're here. This is a dissection. This is with influence of film knowledge, screenwriting, a directorial eye, a critical eye. So we're going to be telling a larger story than what you thought you saw. If you're ever confused as to why these videos be an hour for a half-hour show, hour and a half for a half-hour shows, because this is symbiotic. You know, you guys are just as much a part of this show as I am giving it to you. This is very, okay, this is very give and go, back and forth, give and take. Thumbs up on arrival, everyone. Thumbs up on arrival. Let's get this video top rated. Because, you know, I do my best. This experience is very unique. This experience is very fulfilling, and I make sure that it is. And I'm so happy to give it to you. Who am I, by the way? Thank you for asking. My name is JustLatasha. I go by JustLatasha everywhere across the internet. I am a screenwriter. I am a filmmaker. In fact, I'm gearing up to produce my sketch comedy web series called JustLatasha's Interactions. I'm starring in it. This is a new experience for me starring in it. I'm producing it with some incredible producers. I wrote it. Okay, so I'm bringing you this review, this recap, this dissection with actual knowledge of what goes into making a TV show. So we're going to leave today with a larger story than we thought we came in on. I do want to start this video as well, bigging up my patrons. I had so many new patrons over the past few weeks. So let me shout out who they are real quick before we dive in. I want to give a shout out to Antaeus, who's most likely in the room right now. Gabrielle L, who was my patron of the week. Shout out to you, L. I want to give a shout out to Tammy. We got new tiers, so I want to shout out my echelon of patrons. Ellie, my dad Mark, Melanated Glamour, okay, because she wasn't playing. And I definitely want to give a special shout out to Kenya Adams. Why am I shouting out Kenya Adams in particular? I just added 2 new tiers to my Patreon. The first one is a tier where you guys can send your scripts to me for a critical eye feedback. You know, I get people sending me DMs on Twitter and Instagram saying, can I send you my script? Can I send you my script? Absolutely. I'll be more than happy to give you guys advice on plot, on theme, on character, on dialogue. But, baby, you know, I got value. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys would like your scripts with feedback, if you guys would like me to take a look at 30 pages, because we ain't got all day, 30-page feedback, sign up on my Patreon for that new tier. And the tier that I'm most excited about, the tier with such delectable value, I just added and I'm hella excited. Insecure is ending in 3 more episodes, right? I believe we know and we understand that they're going to episode 10 and we're already at 7. Insecure is obviously ending soon. I also got a lot of people hitting me up about how they want to know more dissections about other films, other TVs. You got it. Other TV shows, you got it. You know, I listen to you guys. I really hear what you guys say. I really hear the demand that you want. And I'm totally down to ride with you. I'm going to give you what you want, baby. Let me give you what you want. Okay? And we're going to have a full circle with that in about an hour. So the tier that I'm so excited about that I added on Patreon is the dissection, the workshop. We will be on Zoom together, and I'm going to spend an hour breaking down and dissecting a film or a TV show that you guys love. So we're continuing the dissections after Insecure is over. We had such a great time with this series. So if you guys want to keep up and keep learning about film the way you guys message me and let me know you did, sign up to that tier on Patreon. It's lit. We do have a ton to get through today, guys. I don't want to rush. I really don't want to rush. We have a ton to get through today. So I want to make sure that we're diving right in. I wanted to make sure people was in the room first. Let's go. We tripping. Y'all ready to go to Mexico? Thank you, Salome. Thank you, Salome, for that. It was so nice. Who ready to go to Mexico? Let's take a trip. Okay, Lowkey Trippin. Episode 7 of Insecure. Let's dissect. Y'all got questions? I see y'all going off in the comments. Let's dissect. Y'all know I got questions right back. Right back. All right. See, morally grayish. This is why I do a little delay. I want to make sure people are here, people are settled in. I don't want to just start and have people miss it. I make sure people are here. This is why I delay just a little bit. All right. Make sure you guys are thumbing up this video and sharing the link on all your socials. Let's start. We are picking up right where we left off, everyone. Last episode, episode 6, Issa decides this ain't the talk she wants. This ain't the route she wants. And we watched her walk away. So we're picking right up with Molly. Molly's gearing up to get some Ethiopian food. And I love the wig. This was a good wig in this episode, y'all. Who was in charge? That was a good wig in this episode. Oh my God. And little did we know as an audience that Molly saw Issa. Okay? Molly saw her. We didn't know that last week. So this is an interesting twist to open up with. And in Molly's actions, in Molly's glance towards the door and then back to her phone, she's fully expecting Issa to talk first. And this is something that Mirror Bitch reminded Issa, episode 6. We always talk first. We always reach out first. And Molly very much follows up that pattern with, oh, here she comes. Let's see what it is this time. And to her surprise and demise, it was a no for her, dog. It was an absolute no. And this is the first time Issa changes the pattern. And Molly finally has to realize that Issa ain't choosing her. What a shock to the ego. That jaw hit the... that jaw... cracked. Okay, that jaw cracked when she saw her best friend not choose her for once. And that was the first time it got scary. This ain't our usual tiff. This ain't our usual fight. This girl is about to, she's gone. Okay, she is gone. That is hella scary. So we're jumping right in. Molly comes back. She's peeved. Her man is already in her house. Now, without saying a word, we see how far this relationship has traveled. He can be in her house without her there. He barely leaves. He's staying over. He talking all kind of languages up on her couch in front of her views. Okay, he is settled in. This relationship has gone even deeper than we known it last time. So we come in. I thought it was beautiful, organic, very natural inclusion that he's just on the couch speaking to his family in his native language. And we see what a tightwad his brother Victor is. Tightwad. How you ain't like the wig, Mara? You don't like a wet, dry, slick shape? You bugging, huh? You bugging. Okay, so we see what a tightwad Victor is. He's got the schedule down from Mexico down to the minute. They don't have a minute to breathe. And Andrew's just kind of riding with it. And so I kind of thought at this moment, like, I felt like in episode 6, Issa got a taste of what it was like to be a Molly, to walk in her shoes. What is it like to be used all the time by people just taking and crossing your boundaries and not being grateful with your time and your presence, right? So naturally, what I would assume for this episode is that Molly's walking in Issa's essence. She's walking in Issa's shoes. What is it like to just be looking for a good time and somebody's constantly downing on your thing, on your stuff, raining on your parade, not letting you breathe for a second? What would that feel like? And so Molly kind of is getting a taste of her own medicine, if just for a little bit. And I have a question for y'all. First question of the night. Molly said something kind of spicy, real spicy. Bitch ran away from me like I was an actual job. Thoughts on that line of dialogue, please. What was that for? What was it for? What was it about? What does it mean? What a thing to say about somebody who was supposed to be your friend. The black announcement said Issa should have went in the restaurant. The place could have been an icebreaker. Morally, I'm wondering if Andrew is the peacekeeper. Bitch ran away from me like I was an actual job. Yep, shady, unnecessary, disrespectful, hateful, shots. All right, so y'all are just buckling it down to the petty. I see it. Y'all are just buckling it down to the petty. He doesn't respect Issa, can't have a friendship without respect. That was low. That was low. That was absolutely low. And I thought about the things that you tend to say to your friends. There's something that happens in a friendship, right? When you have a friendship, you trust each other with your flaws and your information and the things that that the world can't see yet. And when those two friends are armed with that information, they tend to use it. When they mad and angry, they tend to use it. Oh, because this bitch really never had a real job in her life, and that's tea. And it's just like, you would never say that when y'all are good. You understand that you see your friend trying, but now that y'all are mad, we shooting at everything. We shooting at everything. And that was one of those shots where it's like she's armed with the personal information, so she used it as a jab real quick. That was a lot. I want to pay attention here to the visual. Let's pay attention to the visual because I'm going to be honest with y'all. On first watch, I got nothing. Last night, fresh episode, I was like teetering on the side of this episode is giving me nothing. I was a little scared to do today because I was like, I don't have anything to work with. This Molly episode didn't say anything at all. What did we learn? Why are we here? And then I watched it today, and let me tell you, it took me an hour to watch it. And I left with a whole different story. This is why it's imperative to spend time with the stories. And I think that's one of the unique things about Insecure is that this looks like such a naturally based, regular story of friends trying things and being black. But if you really spend time with it, there are so many layers to what is going on. I left today with a different story, so this is what I'm hella excited about today. Let's take a look at the visual. Andrew's kind of talking Molly off of a ledge. Here we go. We're talking about Issa again, babe. Maybe she's, she was struggling, babe. Maybe, And if you notice where he is on set, he is right in the middle, right in front of her bed. He is centered in her home. Molly, on the other hand, she's off to the left, right? That was confusing. Left, right? She's standing off to the left. So even in her own space, even where she's supposed to be grounded, this is her foundation. This is her shit. She's the one skewed, and her boyfriend is the one that's bringing her like a grounded sense of truth. He is representative of truth. But let me bring you to another thing. We can't see him. He has his back facing us as the audience, which means he represents truth, but it's being hidden or it's not being acknowledged. Let's go even further. If you look right above Molly in this first scene with her and Andrew as they're packing up the night before the flight, right above her is a portrait. It's literally a black woman wearing a mask. Black woman got her face covered. She can't see, and she's not offering her full identity. Let's go to the other side. There was two portraits. Let's go to the other side. It was a black person with something right in front of their face. This is when you're hiding the truth. This is when you can't see. This is when you're blocking people from seeing you, and this is when your vision is blocked. Those two portraits, her off to the side and Andrew the one being centered in her space, we're avoiding something here. Totally avoiding something. There's something that needs to be addressed, faced, and acknowledged, and Molly... And tell me about Mexico. What else? Okay. Molly's not having it. Okay. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Molly, I think, is another important piece here. Molly's only packing bikinis. She's not prepared. She's not being rational about this trip. Andrew, truth, grounded, rational. Maybe you should pack pants. You might need to pack pants. It's okay. Which is ironic because for the block party, remember how prepared she was? Well, it's 10% chance of rain. And I'm preparing for that 10%. That very much might not happen. Did. But it very much might not happen. Well, now she's totally out of her rationale. She's going unprepared. Only bikinis only. What else I need pants for, okay? So when he's offering her the idea, maybe you might need pants, as you see, he changes her position and he pulls her into the center. He pulls her into the center of the frame, and now our couples are right here and settled, and he pulled her into vision. Let me prepare you for other options. You do have other options. Let me take that to you. So let's get to work, y'all. Jay Ellis, I want to kiss your feet. I do want to kiss your feet because you told a whole story visually that words and characters did not say. Let's get to work. Molly is going to work. She has this last minute meeting because her assistant didn't prep her for this. And let's take a look at the fashion. Molly's dressed in all white. Her office is all white. But she's carrying around this bright pink luggage. She's carrying it around, rolling it into her office. She's getting ready to go. And her assistant in this white space and Molly's white outfit, her assistant is dressed in black. And even though they're in the same space and working the same job, they're doing it from different points of view. They're absolutely doing it from different points of view. And that's very reminiscent to we know who, isn't it? Very reminiscent to the thing she's trying to run away from. Huh? She dressed like Condola. Nisa, everybody in black and white ain't Condola. Yeah, that's Condola. Yeah, yes it is. Yes. And this quick, mean quip. You don't get paid to make me look dumb. Now I'm gonna cover here for just a second, okay? I am down for black women being short, sharp, and to the point. You frustrated me, you inconvenienced me, and you set me up incorrectly. Let her know so she won't make the mistake again. And guess what? She sure did. Molly the boss. Okay? Molly the boss. Let me tell you guys something. When you have to be a boss, especially as a woman and especially as a black woman, they're going to try to pin you into that corner of being nice. And being nice as a boss doesn't get the things that you need done. Who else have we heard say that? Beyonce. Sometimes I don't have the time to be nice because when I'm nice, you don't listen. Sometimes I have to step up and beat your ass verbally so you do what the hell I asked you to do one time and one time only. That nice stuff on women, especially black women, when we're stereotyped against being angry, that's positioned so people can walk over us. Molly said, don't make the mistake again because you're costing me at this point. Boss. Feelings who? Do your job and do it correctly when I asked the first time. Okay? Sorry. But here, I do think it was sharp. And I think it was sharp because number one, she's a boss. But number two, there's a bit of projection here. Somebody else in her life tried to set her up to look stupid. In a place and space that means a lot to her. This job means a lot to Molly. You set me up to look dumb, and that's not what you're here for. In her relationship with Issa, her relationship is a space that means a lot to her. Issa, you're about to set me up to look stupid to my man who means a lot to me. There's a bit of projection here, okay? And this is her fear of someone else's failure affecting her negatively realized. This is realized, okay? This is not what Molly is signing up for. She's putting her foot down with this boundary. I'm not suffering for anybody anymore. So, here we go. If you guys follow me on Instagram, y'all saw my Instagram stories. I was hype about this hot pink luggage. And here we go. My Instagram is JustLatasha. If you guys haven't been following me yet, you guys will see on my stories now and today that I was excited about this hot pink luggage. And here's why. Last night, Penny Prentice, the showrunner and the writer of Insecure, was doing Q&As after last night's episode. And he says Molly tends to hold on grudges. So why am I hype over this hot pink luggage? Why are we hype over this hot pink luggage? I don't want to say it. I don't want to. They said I'm following you. Y'all want me to answer? Y'all want me to answer? Thank you, Trini boy. I am hype over this hot pink luggage because Molly brings her baggage wherever she goes. Jack said it. Tishalane said it. I'm sure I said that wrong. She is a bag lady. The Mel Experience said it. Molly brings her baggage wherever she goes. Right now, she's carrying her baggage, RC, in her office. And it's showing out. It's showing up and it's showing out, isn't it? All right, let's go. So let's go to Mexico. Bags packed, hot pink luggage. Here we go. Thrift Queen. We're at the airport. Molly's late. Her assistant messed her up. Her assistant inconvenienced her life. Here we go. Back in white in an all-white airport. Molly is matching it. She's her colors are muted. She's all over the place. But this luggage, this baggage is sticking out like a sore thumb. And while she's running and she's scrambled, right behind her is this big, huge mural of this colorful, scrambled art. Right? So what she thinks she's running from, that mess behind her, that loud mess that she's being inattentive to, she's running away from it. What she thinks she's running from, she's actually bringing with her to a new place. Let's go to Mexico. Let's get on a plane with Asian Bay. Okay, let's get on a plane. I love Andrew. There is so much physical communication between these two as a couple that doesn't need to be said. They move physically in sync. As soon as she arrives, she just passes him the bag. He orders all the drinks. He got the blanket, do a little pee on the plane. Okay? Another casting, great, iconic choice, Miss Kim Fields, living single herself, who also directed in season 3, The Show Within the Show, the Kevin series that was supposed to mirror Martin. Kim Fields makes an iconic entrance here because Issa Rae makes it very clear that she honors all of the Black entertainers that come before her, opening up her platform to them as well. And Kim's character is very important, even though she's a quick in and out comedic relief. Her character is very integral to the story. Now, Mabel, she goes by, her name is Mabel. Mabel is grieving. And, oh, I didn't scroll too far. Mabel is grieving, but she's not being honest about her grief. She just lost an incredibly important relationship to her. She just got divorced. It is literally day 3 of the divorce. And she's trying to self-care and travel and distract herself back to joy. Mabel is running from this grief, baby. And you can see on the plane, she can't even hold it together. But we ain't being attentive to that. Mabel got somewhere to be, okay? And she's laughing and connecting and smiling. Mabel's very important. So I want to be attentive back to Andrew's role for Molly. And she makes it clear to her boyfriend, Andrew, that she doesn't want to be boggled down by her brother's plans. And he's simply, I got you. So, oh, I already talked about this already. This is another example of Molly living in the essence of Issa. What is it like when somebody's enforcing their vision of your life on you? Molly just wants to breathe. She don't want all this stuff on her. And somebody else in her scene is putting all this stuff on her. She don't want it. Okay? And really quickly, she says something very important in this last scene. I don't want your brother to think I'm ruining his plans. I believe she feels hella guilty for destroying Issa's block party plans. She was the destruction of something Issa had worked tooth and nail for. And I think this is a grief that she is not acknowledging. Well, now she's being hypersensitive to how she's affecting other people's plans, as this day is showing other people are affecting her plans. She don't like it. Okay? I love the fact, stopping by this really quickly as well, how attracted Molly and Andrew are to each other. This was such a sexy show filled with sex, kinky, seeing kink on a black woman and on an Asian man. And I watched the wind down, which I hadn't done all season, but I watched all the wind downs today. And Yvonne Orji was saying that it was integral, it was intentional of the showrunners of Insecure to show, number one, kink on people of color, black and brown bodies, and two, to give desirability back to the two groups of people who were statistically rated as the most undesirable. In statistics, in a survey, the two groups that were rated the most undesirable to date, and this was included in Issa Rae's first book, New York Times bestseller, Black women and Asian men were rated the most undesirable. So how could we show desire and sex and lustfulness between the two groups y'all said y'all didn't want? That is the only time we'll be talking about the sex scenes. We saw her get her ass ate. We saw the toys. We gotta move on. Okay, we gotta move on. We gotta move on. We got so much to cover here. Let's meet Andrew's brother and his sister-in-law, Victor and Lydia. I don't know if this was important, but I did just take notice of the fashion. Lydia in every scene was always one color sharper than everyone else. Everyone either matched the setting or they were a bit off of shades from each other. Like, it was three of them in similar colors, and then Lydia was always off. So here she has this bright yellow dress that's kind of chaotic. And here she's doing a little too much with the compliments and the just giving to Molly and over. What do you guys think that is? Is it a thing when brown women overperform for black women? Because I did start to see those opinions last night on Twitter. I'm seeing y'all comments. Do you think that's a thing, brown women performing for black women? Or has anyone experienced that personally? I've had it in a way where it was kind of like projecting how uncomfortable she is. I've seen that from brown women too, Latinx and Asian, where it's just like, no, I get it, Latasha, I totally get, yeah, because we get this too, and like lemonade, yes, and like you don't get lemonade. Yeah, it's kind of like you don't really in your life interact with black women. It's something, there's an insecurity that's making you overly gracious for acceptance or to hide maybe your actual feelings about them, or you're just really uncomfortable because you don't have a lot of black people around you. Naturally, Issa said, I think it's hard for women to talk to each other without compliments. Before dating Andrew, Molly said, why bother when I know I want to end up with a black man? Some people change their mind. All right, so y'all do see it. Y'all do see it. Victor is very overbearing with his plans. He has every minute planned out down to the T, and Andrew steps up to protect Molly from that. My girl wants to chill. She don't want to be doing all this stuff. I'm gonna just create the blockage for her. And I asked, like, how is this affecting Molly? Can she sympathize with needing... Oh, excuse me. Andrew steps up to protect Molly from the overbearing brother, Victor. Can Molly sympathize with Issa for needing her for that? I think what I was asking here is, did Issa need Molly for the protection from the chaos of her life? Did Molly need to step up to protect Issa in certain areas of her life the way Molly needs Andrew to step up and protect her from this situation? Can she sympathize with Issa for extending that neediness to her for that? And if we flipped it, what if Andrew acted like Molly? What if Andrew created his own boundaries and was like, I really don't want to get involved. That's my brother. I'm going to need you to handle that on your own. How would Molly feel? Because essentially Molly left Issa out to dry. Well, these are her boundaries. These are the consequences. I'm going to leave you to your own demise. I don't think it was that, but I'm gonna leave you on your own to your own messes. What if Andrew did that to Molly? What would that feel like? So can she sympathize with Issa for needing that from her from before? Molly said no when it was her turn, but you know, X, Y, and Z. Really quick, we're gonna start with the setting for the resort. This resort is very structured. A lot of lines, a lot of clean grids. I'm voguing. A lot of clean grids, a lot of lines, right? And I think this is reflective of both Molly and Victor. I think Victor is an extreme version of Molly. He's Molly at her worst. So it's very interesting when Molly and Andrew meet Victor and Lydia and they walk the same direction. And then Molly says, I don't want to do Victor's plans tonight. Molly heads towards the open sky, the ocean, the sunlight. She heads towards the open space. But meanwhile, Victor and Lydia retreat back into the shadows, back into the grids, back into the lines. Victor is staying on his path, but Molly is trying a new one. Okay? Molly is trying a new one. I want fresh air. I want to let loose. I don't want to think about anything. I don't want any structure. She heads into that open space, and Victor goes back to what he loves. Give me plans, give me schedules, give me massages, okay? I thought that was a very interesting physical display of the emotional states of these characters. Hiking trip. Let's say hi to Mabel again. Kim Field back. Kim Fields is back. And as she's coming down this hill, she's counting her days. This is day 4 of healing because I ain't bothered at all. Okay? We see her doing an extreme version of distracting herself from her emotional pain. That's right, Cameron, day 4. Okay, because she's keeping count of how well she's doing without being hurt and bothered. She's distracting herself again from her emotional pain, and she just says, keep yourself busy. Just as long as you keep yourself busy, you good. You good. I ain't even thinking about it. Fooling herself. And I believe this whole hiking sequence, as elongated as it was simply this. Climbing up the hill is the battle, but when you reach the top, it was all worth it, wasn't it? Going up that battle, going uphill, fighting against the grain, you're tired, you don't want to do it, but once you got to the top, you were like, this was all worth it. And then once you get to the top, you guys get to enjoy the ride back down from where you came, okay? This is an element of the arc of the friendship of Issa and Molly. If you guys just go through the battle, you go through the hurdles, you work to get to that good place, you work to see the hilltop. Didn't Martin Luther King say something about the hilltop? You work to get to the hilltop. Would it be worth it? And can you enjoy the ride to a new place? Can you enjoy the ride once you've gone through the hustle and tussle of the fight? I did previously predict that maybe for this season in particular, they'll actually stay enemies, and maybe next season or the final season, you'll see a little glimmer of a rekindling of a friendship. I think I changed my mind. I think it's going to happen by the finale. Very season 1, the way the finale was Issa accidentally meeting Lawrence in that kitchen when they were moving out. I think we're going to get an emotional roller coaster between these two friends, and we are going to cry season finale because these girls got something to talk about. That's now my updated prediction. That's what I think is going to happen. Let's get back to the hotel now. We done had a full ass day. Surprise, surprise. Molly enjoyed herself. Molly enjoyed the overbooked, overstructured day that Victor set out for them. And she was surprised that she had a good time. So this brings up a whole new set of questions that I need y'all to follow me. Molly misjudged and incorrectly assumed how'd she feel about this new experience. What if, let's go back to the block party, what we running away from, what if she would have been open to trying and testing out Issa's newfound path? What if she misjudged and incorrectly assumed that Issa would just be the same old screw up that she had always been, and she offered the help and she supported her friend and they both won together? And what if she would have enjoyed it? Huh? This this situation proves that Molly ain't got it estimated right all the time. And from Issa's success, proven again, she misestimated. She miscalculated. Okay? Nate's back. FaceTime call. Let's pay attention to the set and the lighting and where our actors are. So I believe Andrew is constantly used as a bridge. We've seen it since the block party. He is constantly a bridge between Molly and Issa. And this is shown via the set design. Andrew steps into a part of the room where it's part of the wall and part of the window. His body is in front of this dark background, but he puts the phone in front of the light background. And right in between him and the phone, let me do this. There we go, like it looks just like this. Right in between him and the phone is this beautiful plant. So he's literally being used as a bridge between two worlds right here. And if you see this beautiful plant, usually plants in TV and film mean that there's space for regrowth, rebirth, new paths, new experiences. Something new is blooming here. So there's hope between the two worlds here. I loved that. I really, really love that where two worlds can meet. And if you guys pay attention, the way Andrew has, you know, this white and black in front of him, Molly has the same colors where she's sitting on the bed, but her lines are different. There are a lot of lines, again, in this resort setting. While Andrew is left and right, Molly's was, I'm going to use my bed, top and bottom. So his lines were vertical in color and hers were horizontal in color. I thought it was beautiful. Same place, same journey, same story, going at it from different ends. Saying so much by just setting it up visually, by just setting it up. It was genius. We see here that Molly is still holding the old Issa accountable, judging her from her exes, judging old stories, judging her by old narratives. And we see Issa chilling with Nathan. Issa decides she's going to give grace to Nathan. He made a mistake. He took accountability. We're moving forward and that's it. Right? And Molly, for the life of her, cannot relate. Cannot relate at all. Molly has never talked about the block party success. Molly has never talked about how much Issa has changed and how she worked her butt off. Molly has never mentioned how different Issa is. Molly only talks about Issa's past and judges her new habits with her old exes and her old stories. And that's completely unfair. Meanwhile, her boyfriend, Andrew, is so sweet. He gives grace to everyone. And as we go into the story, we're going to see more of that. He gives grace to everyone. He gives grace to Nate and his mental health issues because he has a personal relationship with mental health issues due to his sister, who comes up later in the story. He gives grace to Molly countless times. Molly has messed up with him countless times, and he always shows right back up, door open, okay? And he reminds her again, babe, we're speaking about Issa, and we in Mexico. Why are we speaking about Issa again and we in Mexico? I want to put this toy in your butt. She has to be reminded to not bring her baggage to her new place. Put it down. Put it down. Please. Now turn around. Who's hot? Who want to go to the pool? Which one? Who want to go to the pool? It's time for a dip. Let's go to the pool, okay? Because we got problems. We got problems, all right? Very first shot of Molly being in this cheetah print swimsuit. She is serving me Black stereotype in honor of Molly Hive. We are doing cheetah print everything. Honor to the cheetah god, Scary Spice. And this is just a visual of how Black women are seen stereotypically through the racist eyes. animals, savages, wild, scary, raw, right? So to put her in a cheetah print amongst all these people who align with whiteness, who align with classism and the fancy, to see this black woman in her cheetah print, wow, right? We gotta tame that cat before she dares step out of line. Keep that black woman in her place, huh? I didn't realize how racist the positioning of Scary Spice was until I was well an adult, because she was my favorite. And I was like, they always dressed her in animal print, always had her hair as wild as it can be, and she's always roaring at the camera. Ah! Why is she yelling all the goddamn time? Okay. The first conversation, again, is about Andrew's sister, Fiona, who her name has popped up several times. We find out that Victor invited her to this Mexico trip, but Andrew already is up to game. She don't ever come. She don't ever come. And there's no resistance, there's no anger, there's no negativity. Andrew just kind of, it is what it is. And I think that's really what's poignant about his character, is that he simply just meets you where you are. He's not angry at his sister. He's not angry at his brother. Andrew's he not angry at Molly. He just be chilling. Like, Andrew really just be chilling. Like, why did you invite her? She is what she is. That she's just doing her pattern. That's her. Whatever. Like, whatever. So there's a boundary, though. I don't believe Andrew engages with his sister, because I believe she's proven this pattern will never change. And if you have somebody as close to your sister proving that this is just who they are, he sees no reason to go forward. However, with Nate, he sees the change in Nate. They're tighter than ever. They're boys. Call me on my vacation. I'm going to help you in the house. He gives he keeps that openness with Nate, because Nate has proven to want to work on himself. And I think that's a little nook there for Andrew. That's really what gets Andrew's goose going, right? Let's get to the towel, baby. It's time to dry off. I'm tired of swimming. Lydia done burned her damn eye in the chlorine. So Molly could not get a towel from this pool concierge because she did not have and show her room key, even though the concierge did not demand it from the white couple who was just in front of her. These are the racist microaggressions that misalign people of color. POC solidarity. We can never be fighting the same fight, because more times than not, our brown sisters and brothers will align with whiteness, because that's the saving grace. It's not cool to align with the black folks. Hello, totem pole. You and your cheetah print is all the way at the bottom. And this pool concierge made that clear. She didn't have to call you the N-word. She didn't have to scream and shout. These are what microaggressions look like. Hiding behind the law. Hiding behind the rules of her job. Hiding behind her softness. Literally performing a violence, but you cannot see it if you're not black. We know what that was. And the pool concierge know what she was performing. Okay? So it was important for this actress to have this heavy accent. She has a heavy Mexican Latinx accent. It's important for her to look white, but we have to know as an audience that she's actually a brown person, because what it's showing is POC will turn that back on you real quick when it benefits them. Sorry to tell you, sorry to do it to you. And Molly said that in the pool. We're gonna get to it. So Molly's pissed off. She gets this towel. She gives it to Lydia. She gets back in the pool at this beautiful infinity pool. And Victor says something off screen. I don't know if you guys heard or paid attention to it. Victor says something off screen. Yo, man, someone thought I was like their friend from college and he totally gave me shots. I was cool with it. He went with it. Someone thought this Asian man was someone that they knew back in the day who was also Asian and hooked him up. Sometimes people of color, when racism works in their favor, They welcome it with open arms. He was cool to roll with the punches of all Asians look alike because it benefited him. He gave me shots. I don't care. This is great. This is great. It's great that someone was just totally racist to you and you just, oh, that's cool. It ain't cool for all of us, okay? And so even though something racist happened to him too, he dares turn his lip, fixes it at Molly and asks, was the towel situation about race? Let's play devil's advocate. See, the devil's advocate when they first met was cute because he was offering like goodies like guacamole and drinks and X, Y, and Z. Like devil's advocate, if you don't go to bed right now, you can have all this good stuff by the pool with me. But now this devil's advocate is working against what we here for. Okay? The devil don't ever need an advocate. The devil's busy. He's booked. He's busy. We don't need you. He doesn't need help. So it's safer for a lot of people of color, and this is something, if you guys can see in my description box right now, I have linked the video to my Sorry Not Sorry vlog, the anti-blackness in Asian communities. Cue it up and watch it after we're done here. Big video. And one of the things I mentioned in that video is that what the Asian community is able to do is ride right in the middle of racism. They are off the radar for white supremacy, even though white supremacy damages them too. But at least they're not N-words. And they get to just coast right in between the fight because no one's kind of paying them any mind. When you're done, watch the Sorry Not Sorry video. It's I go there, okay? Let's talk about Lydia. Lydia's a little racially ambiguous. Not quite Asian. Is she a little Latinx? Lydia's giving me mixed with something, right? And what do our brown sisters do? They don't fight the fight. They do not fight the fight. And she rides quietly right in the middle, right in between Victor, right in between Molly. She don't choose no sides until Molly says something she don't like. Then we have a few oh no's and oh no's. When Molly has a point, Lydia's quiet. When Molly makes a mistake, because black people can be prejudiced, all of a sudden Lydia has something to say. This is something else I've also personally experienced. My brown sisters will watch violence, racist violence, come at me all day, and they say nothing. In secret, they're like, I totally get it. That shouldn't have happened to you. That was really wrong. They won't say anything out loud. But if I say something prejudice to the whites, my brown sisters are real quick with, that's not right. You shouldn't back. You shouldn't. Wow. Whoa. Now, wait a minute. I thought you was quiet. Which one is it? Which one is it? And we're watching this violent scene, this emotionally violent scene of Molly just being gaslighted for 5 or 6 minutes, right? Her anger was totally justified. You only know it if you go through it. She's totally in her element where she should be. And we watched everyone get mad at her, silence her, resist her. What do you mean? Is it true? Did it happen? Are you making it up? You got a chip on your shoulder. She's like, okay, well, then I'm done. And that cute little brown skin booty and hop, wop, and drobbled, covered in that cheetah print, right back to a hotel room. Okay? It ain't just a room key. A whole lot of others, and it drives you crazy to have to explain that to other people. This is not a room key. A bigger story just happened. And you're remaining willfully ignorant to not see the racism behind how she gave me the room key and the towel. And they make you sound like you're stupid because you're like, why are you arguing about a towel? It's not about a towel. I will slap you in the teeth. Stop playing with me. Whew, whew. It's morning, and she slept the night away. It happened, and she should have had her room key. It's morning. It is the next day. Somebody asked, do I think Andrew should have done more? I don't think Andrew knows enough about the Black plight to do more. And he did what a lot of people do, is stop talking about it. Hey, I don't know if my girlfriend's right. I'm not intellectually equipped with that knowledge. How about we just stop talking about it altogether? Same with Lydia. This is what white people want, to divide us. We're already divided. You're telling me I'm fighting about a room key. I'm not fighting about a goddamn room key. It's morning. And there's this beautiful shot where Andrew comes in and he approaches Molly on the bed and he passes a mirror and we see two Andrews. We see two Andrews. Because what's happening to him now is that he owes two people his grace. He is giving two worlds his grace and understanding. Even after Molly has a sharp divide with his brother, he shows grace to Molly. You said F you to my own brother yesterday, but I have your back. At the same time, he gives grace to Victor, but holds him accountable. You were wrong. You were wrong. We didn't get to the bit of that conversation. We didn't need it. We ran out of time, whatever it may be. But Andrew understands at least that Victor is wrong. And this goes back again. He's just who he is. He sucks. My brother sucks. Andrew doesn't fight to change Victor. Andrew doesn't fight to change his sister. Andrew doesn't fight to change Molly, Nate. You are who you are. And you're either in my life or you're not. And Andrew is not up for the fight of, I need you to be this person so we could work good. Andrew is, I'm good because you are who you are. Do you think Maya putting pressure on me tonight? Do you think Virgo? Do you think Victor actually admitted to being wrong? No. I don't think that. I think Andrew told him he was wrong. They said F her back. And they chose not to hang out with them. They went shopping. You're not invited. Molly ain't invited. We don't know how her brother and Lydia feel about Molly, but they ain't hanging out together today. Huh? Okay. So Andrew just accepts people as they are. And this is what makes it so simple. It really could all be so simple. And one of the last things he says to her is, we'll figure it out. He's willing to climb the hill each time. Each and every time. He is willing to climb that hill with you. We'll figure it out. Let's go through it. Let's go through it. Let's pay attention again to the set design. When Andrew is sitting on the bed next to Molly, he's in front of plants. And I think he is always a source of another option, of a new path, of a new journey, of a rebirth. Andrew is always the source of something new can bloom here. But he leaves her in her own thoughts with this nasty ass smoothie. And behind Molly, we see another portrait, scrambled full of colors, nonsensical, unformatted, no symmetry. Andrew, Molly has brought her mess to her present once again. No matter where she runs, where she goes, she is always sitting amongst her own mess. Very visually connected to that large portrait we saw when she started her journey from the airport. She is still sitting here amongst her own mess. I feel like I'm missing so many good comments. What up, Nicole? Haven't seen you in a long time. Oh my God, there's so many new. Nicole says, I feel like all Black women need to have a conversation about this type of thing with their non-Black partners once it's clear that the relationship is getting serious. And this is why I don't bother. I have not met a non-Black man to knock me off my feet to make me change that. But at this point in time, I stand with earlier Molly, who said I'm going to be with a Black man. I don't have the energy, and I talked about this in my private stream on Patreon yesterday. I don't have the time for all the explaining. That's exhausting. And then I got to talk to your family and your mama and your grandparents. No, okay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Molly is sitting amongst the mess she made that she continues to carry her baggage in the present. She continues arriving to the same place. Let's go to the beach. Molly is by herself. She is disconnected to everyone. And we see her do what? Call that therapist. We've been asking. We've been begging. We wondered where the family went. She called that therapist. Woo! This is a time where you have to meet yourself. I don't know who this message is for. I hope it resonates with somebody. There's a time where you have to meet yourself. There's a time where Molly had to get rid of the distractions, get rid of the hiking, get rid of the boyfriend, get rid of the pool, get rid of the Victor, get rid of the towel. It was just Molly and God. And Molly said, I see me now. This is what all the critique. Issa called me miserable. Issa said I'm a mess all the time. There's a time where you meet yourself and you are tired of your own bullshit. You are fed up with yourself. Molly met herself. She met herself and sat in her mess. And we have a beautiful song that starts with, "You don't look happy." Baby, wow. Dressed in this mellow yellow. All these things were supposed to bring her joy, right? All these things were supposed to bring her joy. It don't matter if Issa succeeds and it's not a mess for once. It don't matter if she's free from Issa's mess for once. It don't matter if she's in a relationship compared to all this useless dating. It don't matter if she gets a break from work. It don't matter what happens to Molly in this beautiful, joyful, youthful yellow. You don't look happy. Issa said, with your miserable ass, you don't look happy. Wherever you are, you have brought your mess with you. Babe, why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running? Go back here. Imagine that sadness sitting in yellow. How? Imagine that sadness sitting in yellow. This is the first time we see Molly take full accountability, and she cannot let go. She is having a troubled time of letting go of all this trouble, these triggers, these problems. She met herself. So there's nothing else to do but go back home, huh? Vacation's over. We learned the lesson, okay? And guys, this is where the episode hit. It took all this. We thought we ain't see much last night, but it took all this. This is where the episode hits. I want you to buckle up. Buckle up. Because Thrift Queen said it at the top of the show. She knows. We're back in LA. One of the first signs we see is oversized baggage. One of the first signs we see when we get back to LA, oversized baggage. And check this out. Check this out. When we first saw Molly running through the airport, all white pants. Her man told her to wear pants. Running through the airport, she is linked hand in hand with this pink baggage. She's running with this hot pink baggage. But when we land back in LA, she's holding on to her man who was wearing what? Pink. Baggage has been replaced. The baggage has been replaced. There's another item taking up space. Y'all see it. There's another item in her life taking up space and she's dragging it along. Guys, Andrew is in pink. She's not hand in hand with this luggage. She's hand in hand with her boyfriend. Is Andrew, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because it's answered right here. Without words, immediately, hand in hand with Andrew, they look and see Mabel back in LA with them, and she is diving into a new man. Mabel with a new man. That was quick. That was quick. Mabel, who's been running to her grief for the past 3 days since we met her. Mabel, who will do anything else but attend to that grief, is diving into a new man. Molly is hand in hand with her boyfriend, looking at Mabel run from her grief into the arms of a new man. Noni Renee said it, just like Molly. Just like Molly. Is Andrew Molly's new baggage? Okay? And here's where Mr. Director, Mr. J. Ellis, here's where he showed off. If this was you, give me them goddamn toes, boy. Put them in my mouth. I'm kissing your feet. If this was you, the shot does something magnificent here, okay? Andrew's wearing pink. He's wearing the same color as Molly's baggage. He fades into the background and blurs out to go pick it up. If you guys see really quick, Andrew is now holding on to Molly's baggage, and they're dressed alike. He's blurred out. Molly's in the foreground. Also, Molly's standing in front of the dark background, and Andrew blurred out further behind, standing in the white. They're in two different worlds. Did y'all peep? Let me do this. See that? They was like this. I'm glad my room is separated like this. I could really draw a picture for y'all. They was like this. He was blurred out. Running out of focus. Here we go. Here we go. And now we see Lawrence. Molly is right in between her let me do it. Molly is standing right in between her present, which is behind her, and moving forward to Issa's past. Moving forward to someone who is Issa's past. Molly is leaving Andrew in the background for him to catch up and heading towards someone who is Issa's past. All that judging, all that miscalculating, all that ruckus, huh? They all meet in the airport. And Molly tried something which I think was interesting. And I was following Natasha Rothwell, who tweeted last night after the episode, like, "How you just be awkward with your friends, man? Y'all be having nothing to talk about." And it's just like, I felt something a little different there. I felt like just for a second, Molly wore the essence of Issa. Molly don't do no awkward jokes. Molly ain't awkward. Molly know how to crack a bad joke and try to be cute about it, and it totally fails with Lawrence. Molly's been carrying the essence of Issa this entire episode, from when she was packing the night before, to when she overheard her on FaceTime with Nate, and so now she's meeting Lawrence. Molly's been preoccupied with Issa's essence this entire time, and she performed it a little bit. And it don't fit her. it don't fit her. I thought she was acting like Issa. I was like, you wore your friend a little bit. And sometimes that naturally happens with people you spend a lot of time with. You guys start adopting each other's mannerisms. So for her to look at someone who is Issa's past and perform Issa just a little bit, she's still encompassed with this situation. It's still a part of her. And if you guys notice, right before we leave Molly and Andrew for the first time in this episode, and we walk out and we follow Lawrence, Molly never touched her baggage again. It remained in Andrew's hand until they exit stage left. Molly has never touched her baggage since after she called that therapist. It was not hers anymore. Insecure. Who do you guys think you are? Who do you guys think you are? And we are excited to see the follow-up to that phone call that Lawrence makes outside. He want to catch a drink with somebody. We saw the promo for next episode. Y'all know who it is. So, because we have unsaid things to address. Okay? If I didn't spend an hour with that half-hour show today, I would have missed the entire story. Molly has faced herself, and she is ready to adhere to the calling, to be this new person. That is Insecure Season 4 Dissection. I am JustLatasha, and I'm so happy that you all are here enjoying this with me. I pray for God some of these insecure folks are in the room. We got a lot of people in the room tonight. I love this show, and I think a lot of the times when we look at this show, it is done so well in a very grounded, relatable, normal way that we miss the many stories that are being told simultaneously. They do such a seamless job at making everything feel regular that we watch the show, we see what happened, and we move on, and we say our opinions. But I think if you spend time unraveling the lies they tell themselves, the lies they tell each other, the performances that they enact to themselves and each other, and the roles they think they have to play, and the projections, there's such weight to what's happening on screen. Jay Ellis, you did that, boo. Okay? Prefer you with the fade. Not gonna lie. I do prefer the fade. Well, what was she doing out in Frisco? The girls want to know. Priscilla says, is it Andrew's baggage now? I don't think he is the owner of the baggage. I think he is the baggage. I think he, just like Mabel from that plane, he was Molly's distraction from what needs to be addressed. Thank you, Stay Fly. With herself and with Issa. Instead of paying attention to this really painful part of my life, I'm going to have a boyfriend. Hard. He in my house. I'm bringing back Ethiopian food. I don't even got to be there. He got a key. That feels much better than having to deal with what's really breaking my heart that I'm not addressing. And that's the destruction of the Issa and Molly friendship. And I think that hike was the death of how they knew each other, and now they can zip ride on a journey to getting to re-know each other as their new identities. Molly's going to go ahead and fix herself, and Issa's an entrepreneur. Thank you, Trini Boy, for that cash donation. This could be a joyride, but we got to get over the hill first. We got to make it to the hilltop. Lawrence was in San Fran on a job interview, and I think he will be telling Issa that he may be moving next week. But why would she need to know that? They're not really friends. They haven't spoken on rekindling anything. Why would he need to tell her that he's leaving unless he is asking her for something? Because y'all know what I'm waiting for. Y'all know what I want. I'm rooting for Lawrence and Issa. They broke my heart with that first breakup in that kitchen with the Daniel Caesar going in the background. They broke my heart. I'm not over it. I'm absolutely not over it. I just had a thought, Asia from Brooklyn. What if he wants to ask her to work with him? I don't know. He didn't see the block party. And he didn't see how hard she was working. He saw Condola do it. But he saw Condola like not do it. I don't know. Possibility, but I think it's a long shot. He wants her to tell him to stay. Y'all want them to be fucking job partners, and I want them to have romance. I want romance. Thank you guys for being here. This is the dissection of Insecure. I do not do reviews or recaps. We all saw what had happened already. You guys want what had happened again? Go to anybody else. You're not going to get that here. That's why we spend time. There are so many stories to unravel, so many details to detect and dissect. That's what you're going to get here. I thank you. If you are not a Patreon, I implore you to become one today. I do have an extra private stream every Sunday at 3 p.m. EST on Patreon, where we spend an hour together talking about this week's hot topics. Yesterday, we spoke about Doja Cat really briefly. We spoke about making good skin bleaching and other really deep personal topics. We often share stories with each other as well. That's just at the $5 tier. If there's any filmmakers here, and you guys really enjoy the dissections, because Insecure is ending in 3 weeks. Thank you, Maya, for the cash donation. Insecure is ending in 3 weeks. If you guys want to continue the dissection, I have created a Patreon tier. Dissection, the workshop, is new on Patreon. I just made it over the weekend. We will be dissecting film and TV shows, pointing out the scripts and the director and the critical eye. And we'll be spending an hour on Zoom together so we can continue to do this series. And I also am helping screenwriters. Some people hit me up in my DMs talking about, would you look at my script? Absolutely. Become a Patreon and sign up for the screenwriting feedback tier. I'm going to do your first 30 pages, theme, plot, structure, character, dialogue, scene, structure. Sign up for that tier and help me help you. Okay? If you're not following me on social media, you're absolutely out of your goddamn mind. I am JustLatasha on Instagram, and I am JustLatasha404 on Twitter. I will see you guys in between videos on those things, and also follow my show page, please. JustLatasha's Interactions, my sketch comedy series coming out later this year. Interactions, INNR Actions on Instagram and Twitter, honoring the Black women before us in entertainment, old school TV, new school TV, playing black girl games. Hella fun on the Interaction Show page. And I'm going live tomorrow with Horrible Decisions host Mandy B. She's going to teach me how to flirt. Teach me how to flirt. Miss Dating Sexpert herself going to teach me how to get the boys. Live on Instagram, only on the Interaction Show page, not the Just Latasha page. Tomorrow live at 7 p.m. EST. I'm going live on Instagram at the Interaction Show page. All links in the description box. Boom. Do not leave without hitting a thumbs up on this video. Share this link on your social media pages. Show me love. Show me love by sharing. I don't want nothing else but your time, attention, and maybe a blood sample here or there. Damn, y'all act like I asked for a whole lot. Thank you for being here. You guys have been great. See you later. I can never log off, can I?